was. One second, peeps. Right, so this is still piece here of things that should be aired, right? Should it be the case that there was a catfish in 2017 who was known to be a catfish, that much was obvious. Just listen to, I'm saying this in a weird person sense, but listen to this story. I'll go from, I think it was 252 that I'm gonna go from. Just hear this out.
For fuck's sake, bitch. Look, this is how sure I am when I'm talking to this woman. You were fucking catfishing and you were obviously, 1, weird, 2, not gay, 3, clearly after something to fucking show the whole world. Why else would you want someone to, you know they're not a violent person, you know they're not X, Y, and Z. Why was I, even anyone on the internet, who the fuck normally presses someone to be, like, continually tries to get them to say violent things like they'd be horrible to this so-called fucking 17-year-old who's almost 18, who's apparently a lesbian, and they sent a picture of them giving their fucking friend a peck on the cheek. They probably got the photos of Facebook. You're insulting my intelligence if you think that I didn't know that was a fucking catfish. Yeah, I played a fucking along with it. Why the fuck not? I was lonely, bored, it was fucking almost funny. At the end of the day, if you know that someone's an adult and they're continually messaging you, at the end of the day, I probably shouldn't have fucking gave stories, but it helped my creative writing. No joke, like, I came up, like, some idiots whose intelligence I will really question is the case, and it's all public, and people have seen it and actually believe that I meant what they read. I will question their intelligence big time. I won't even question it. I'll think they're fucking stupid. And that would be complimentary to call them stupid. If anyone read all those messages, oh my god.
They could get the wrong impression major.
Those same people were having living in prescription beds that were switching for hallucinogenics, which probably made it all a bit more insane. But why not live up to it? I don't give a fuck if what I send or presented myself as, because that's not me.
Yo, live up to me. Explain it.
Do you think that I'm the person that you fucking... I really hope that I'm right in thinking that this motherfucker put everything on the internet somewhere. Because there's a reason I don't give a fuck.
Yo. So what this is, it's an explanation, right? If some stupid, real stupid, beyond stupid people believe that, as I said, I'm explaining this in like, third person, that this person didn't know that it was a catfish, how the fuck can this person be intelligent normally? Oh, fuck it, I'm explaining it as myself, people. Right, I think I know who the fuck it was. I think I know exactly who the fuck it was. It was blatantly a catfish, blatantly wasn't a fucking 17, almost 18-year-old, and it was someone who was pressing me for fucking sexual talk and violent talk. So I was like, well, this is clearly adult. 2, I think, and I thought that I knew exactly who it was. 3, they're bloody weirdo for the things they were desperate for, which was talk of violence and anything sexual. 4, if you think I'm that stupid that I didn't know that this person was gay, oh my god. Their fucking idea of proof was giving a girl a peck on the cheek in a picture. Oh, and another 5, that girl looked about fucking 28, and she looked like someone that the person who I think it was, her daughter, is the only person I can imagine on the planet thinking that that girl was attractive in the first place. Honestly, she was pretty grotesque and unattractive, and not what I would ever have an interest in. If I was fucking 16, I wouldn't have any interest. If I was 18, similar age, again, wouldn't have any interest in this woman, looks like a woman, not a fucking girl. Anyway, for God's sake, I'm not that stupid. It's a bit obvious that it's a fucking, I wanted to find out exactly for sure who it was, and like, I wasn't pressing for a meet-up, but I'm sure I asked once because I wanted to, you know, it's just, how can you put it, like, I would have loved for them to have had to have the stress of trying to find someone to go meet, but, like, the whole point is, I actually genuinely believe they're this sort of person. Oh, and also the fact they were so desperate for this violent talk, this sexual talk, and all they got from me was creative writing, all of it lies, all of it bullshit. Half of it was like an abusive person I'd been with. I took basically things that person had said and said them to this person, who was blatantly a catfish and blatantly not the age that they said either. Like, what the hell is wrong with talking shit to someone you know is a catfish? They're pretending to be someone else. Why can't I pretend to be someone else and talk absolute bollocks? Probably went quite disgusting, and you know what? That's the beauty of it. To be honest, I think that the person I was talking to was someone that I think people think that I fancy, who is definitely not fucking 17. Jesus Christ, a million miles away from it. But yeah, and my thing in the past, I've never been attracted to people younger than myself ever. Only older people. Like, literally, I've only just got to the age where maybe older women might not be as interesting or whatever, or older men. I was never, although some older men are like, but yeah, there's a bit of bisexual going over here. But yeah, like, come on, I think they probably did put it out to the world like I'm I'm disgusting. And also, like, I would like to say that, like, I think people need to grow up about this. If someone's like a few months off 18 years of age, say that was real when my friend was talking to say they're, 25, 26? Because that's the sort of age. Say they were talking to someone who was 17, almost 18. I don't think that's fucking, pedophilia. I don't think that at all. I think people who think that need to grow up, because it's not that. Although it is a bit strange if you want to meet, if it was my mate, I wouldn't think it was that strange. It's just, to me, I would never ever sleep with no one that age or nowhere near that age. That's gross, absolutely gross. It's not just that I'm only interested in older people, it's the fact that it doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. It's just, yeah. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'm just telling the straight up truth. Like, I mean, these people were switching my prescription medication that I was told I couldn't come off of because I'd apparently die. And they were giving me hallucinogenics that made me very, very, very crazy. And also made me basically talk out loud. And that was also because I felt like, I genuinely thought that I was being filmed, and it really wouldn't surprise me if I was, because people seem to know what I was doing, or what was in my house, you know, all of that sort of things they shouldn't have known. How the fuck did a couple gangsters and people in, like, my mum's neighbours and my mum and her circle and people like that, how did they know? And that Brett twat, Brett Ahern, I hate the geezer for other reasons, he's stupid. And that brings me to the fact that there was one of Liz's neighbours who I was lying to see if she was a total snake, pretending to be a mother to two kids. And I think Brett knows about that, and I think he's seriously offended. How dare you be offended, you twat? It's none of your fucking business if I want to pretend to someone to test if they're a fucking snake, to test if they're a fake person. Why am I not allowed to test that with a lie? It's none of your business. And why would you be offended? He's a stupid donkey for just the way he is. He's a very evil man. He's just pathetic at the same time, though. But yeah, all of the people around me in 2017 were evil and no good for me. And probably similar situation now, to be honest. You can't trust anyone in this world because so many people they're literally not on my level in the way that I would never accept money to sabotage a life, and these people are screwed up in their head and they would do that. Do you know, I think that makes them evil, and if they're technically torturing that person, then they're just as bad as fucking sex offenders to me. They're as bad as people who rape people, brutalise people, etc., etc., because what they're doing is just as bad. They're traumatising someone. So anyway, I've been through a lot of trauma. People have targeted attacked me in groups, and they are disgusting people. I don't like them, and I'm a bit too drunk for the talking stuff, peeps, and sorry for all the swearing. I just thought, just in case, because I can imagine them not putting it on the internet and editing it and cutting it and making me look like a vile person, when really I'm pretty sure, like I said, I know who did it and was doing it, and I felt that way at the time. So I continued it with BS stories, etc., etc., etc. And bear in mind, I thought I was on the camera, so I could make it look real, like, to a degree, although not really. That's not exactly, well, it depends how you look at it, but yeah, they're all fucked up, and I'll come back and explain the last comment I've made, because that probably sounded a bit weird, in another video. I'm just gonna write everything down. I'm gonna fucking write a whole book, and my whole story can bloody go out there. Like, you know, weird thing, I'm sure people know about this shit, and they don't ask me my side of the story. They don't ask me what happened. They don't even tell me that they know. Well, they think they know something special. Fuck me. These dumb people think that they are clever and, you know, they're fucking privileged. They know it's a big secret of mine. No, you bloody don't. At all. You know nothing of the real story and what was going on and happening in my life, and you know nothing of who I am. And the shit that one person in particular thought of me, that he was saying all indirectly, couldn't have been further from the truth. These people do not know me. They've picked on me and sabotaged me, and fuck the lot of them. Fuck Blunt's Avenue. There's just so many fucking devils in society in general, and it's really bloody disgusting, people. How the fuck? Like, they knew I'd been sexually violated by someone only a couple years before they ever started ganging up on me. Or actually, they basically started ganging up on me from the minute they realised I had money, and that I was, quote unquote, from money. Basically, my family weren't all fucking little tramps like them, fucking so unintelligent that they bloody... Yeah, they're so bloody unintelligent, honestly. So unintelligent that I think they genuinely believe I'm a bad person, and those of them who've since realised that I'm not that, they acknowledge that people don't deserve to see, well, the real me. And the person who I think was doing this, I think has since realised that I'm not some fucking arsehole, but I think they're controlled by people around them. It might not be that case though, because another one was basically implying, it's funny how their gang, how there's holes in it. You'll have one person telling me to avoid, in like code, telling me to avoid the other, and then that person coming to me acting like they're bullied and have to do what the others say. There's so many, like, it's all ridiculous. Like, the way I've been treated, like, there's a song, Undone by London, and I genuinely believe I'll be killed eventually and they'll stage it up as suicide, and I think that maybe this song should be at my funeral, people. I swear to God I'll never commit suicide, so if I go, well, blame me then, look. Like children. Close your eyes and I'm not there. It's the vibe I love at my funeral. You hear them laughing on empty streets and garden squares.
We walked so slowly, then suddenly you cried, I've given up, I've given up, I've been undone by London, London and a lack of love. Dreams are like fireflies, floating in a sapphire sky. You try and catch them, but find when you do that fire dies. We walk so slowly. You said I finally realized enough's enough. Enough's enough. I've been undone by London.
But I am making it clear I would never, ever take my own life, ever.
It could be so easy.
And I think the chances of me dying by a staged suicide, are high.
We could all just work it out. It could be so easy. It should be so easy. Dreams are like lullabies. A mother's voice when you were young.
Mentioning back to the fact that my real mum isn't my so-called mum.
Fading in the summer sun. We're raising hawks when we could be raising doves.
Well, them are definitely raising hawks when they could be raising doves.
London and a lack of love.
Well, I'm done with this because it's too much of a depressing vibe. But seriously, people. And do you know what I'm getting annoyed by, right? Saw this video the other day. These idiots on YouTube, for views, because they love likes and views. I think that is a big part of it. They've gone around they've catfished some guy. Pretended they were like 14 or 15. And he was just joking about saying some stupid bullshit to him. Really kind of like blatantly not that bad. And the guy's not necessarily sinister, is what I mean. The guys went and met up with him, right? And they didn't even try to see if he would meet this teenage girl who didn't exist. He clearly said that he knew that they weren't, that he was talking to an adult. He was apparently on coke, buzzing out his head, just pushing people's fucking limits, seeing how far, what sort of reactions he could get from what he knew were adults pretending to be bloody kids. And they put it on YouTube as if he's a guaranteed certified, not just a nonce, they call him a junkie nonce. Cocaine doesn't make someone a junkie, that's a word for a heroin addict. So the guy's a bit thick in that way. Nonce, there's no evidence, there's a fuck all proof that he's anything like that. I'm being serious, there's no proof, and the truth is that he could very easily be telling the truth. And what was the other thing there in the title? It was junkie nonce. Oh yeah, they made out like he was into bestiality, because apparently on this message board he's written for a joke to see how far, what people would say while he's buzzing on coke. He wrote, "Go play with your animals," which I think you've got to have a sick mind to even take that sexually. And I do think some of these people who think people are, junkie, nonce, paedophile, this, I think they're a bit sick in their head to think that someone would actually fuck a child. How sick in their head do you have to be to think that? The real people who do that sort of stuff are very sly, and I know a couple, believe me, they're very, gangster type, and they're very people you'd never expect it of. If you didn't know them, you definitely wouldn't expect it of them. So, and they're also Freemasons, funnily enough, the ones that I know who have definitely raped children, and by children I obviously don't mean 15-year-old. That's a teenager, but obviously you still shouldn't do that, but I will point out that when I was about, I think 16, there was a lot of my peers, girls who were with older men. There was a lot of men, my peers, when I was 25, for example, who were sleeping with 16-year-olds who went to their studios or whatever, things like that. So I think people need to stop all this. Back to my original point, because I'm going from pillar to post to pillar here. These people making YouTube videos, like that one in particular, like, fair enough, if they are an actual paedophile, fair enough, do a video on it. But make sure you really, really prove it. You really, really convince people. If you can't convince me, I just don't obviously believe that one guy was anything like what they'd said. And he had a fucking litter of puppies, all happy as Larry, completely normal, healthy puppies. Didn't look like they'd been abused whatsoever. It just baffled the hell out of me, the way that they could, like, all these commenters as well, putting on the RSPCA should take his dogs. Fuck's sake! Are they too thick to realise he could be telling the God's honest truth when he's saying he's nothing like that? He was buzzing off his head on coke, fucking about, pushing limits and seeing what people would say on the message board chat room thing. For God's sake, like, how could anyone not realise that if someone's on, like, these message board chat room bollocks, isn't it obvious, like really obvious, that they're over 18, because don't they have to use a credit card to even have membership and stuff? I'm pretty sure they do, for all of them. It's not like their mum's going to give them the credit card details to do it, so it's just obvious they're an adult, for one. It's ridiculous. And if there's any message boards or whatever out there that don't require proof that people are adults, you need to require it. That way these idiots cannot come on there and fucking accuse people who would never actually fuck a underage person of any age. They won't be able to accuse people. Because it's getting ridiculous, the amount of videos on the internet with these fucking wannabe coppers. They couldn't never be coppers, I'll tell you that for sure. Not the ones who did this one video that I'm on about, the one that's winding me up. The one where there's absolutely no evidence, and where you've got... They've ruined his life, like he even said in the video, because there is no proof at all. And I mean, literally no proof whatsoever. That, sorry, I got distracted reading a comment on my own video thing in the background. Oh, what was I saying? There's no proof whatever. Yeah, there's no proof. This video that was on the other day, there's fuck all proof. And I mean absolutely no proof that this guy was what they said he was. And they've called him it to the whole bloody internet. So, someone's agreeing with me, I think. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think they're agreeing with me, because I put, for fuck's sake, the dogs look happy, they don't look abused, they're not trying to run away. How do you know he'd ever even touch a dog? There's no evidence of it. Thank you, Terry Shaw, for agreeing with me. I did this on my mate's account. I was there like with my mate, and I'm like writing replies. I mean, not replies, comments. Because it's bullshit. These people are all saying take the puppies away, I'd have taken all his dogs, and any cats he having, vile evil man. Are they too retarded? Sorry for using that word, I heard that it's not supposed to be used these days. Are they so stupid that they think that people can't, you know, fuck about? If you know someone's an adult that you're talking to, you know there's some idiot catfishing, like, as long as they're not, like, pretending to be some ridiculously young age, because that would probably be a bit fucked up to, you know, to say shit back to and fucking have some fucking game, basically, like with some idiot, sort of wind them up. Because I'm not being funny, if I was with my mate, right, And we went onto a message board for we should actually do this and try to see if anyone's pretending to be like a teenager on there, for example. And then, do you know what we should do? We should pretend to have a fucking interest and let them come to our doors, my mate's door ideally, I wouldn't really want mine filmed, and just say to them, look, we filmed a whole lot. We did this just to see how pathetic you are, and now seriously you believe a load of bollocks. You can't believe everything you fucking read on the internet, and people are not always portraying themselves when they comment on the internet. I mean, for God's sake, it's like saying that everyone is genuinely themselves on the internet. It's like saying, when ironically the catfish ain't even who they're saying they are themselves. So why can't the other person pretend to be something they're totally not? And it also, you know, Eminem, when he says about sticking a strap on up Kim Kardashian's ass and making her run a triathlon, when he talks about raping women and raping his mother, now bend over mum and take it like a slut, or whatever he says. Well, can someone please tell me why these idiots who made this particular video haven't gone to Eminem's door and fucking called him out? Might as well, innit? Because it's all bullshit, we hope, with Eminem. Fucking hell. If everything he's said in certain albums, especially albums like Relapse, is true, then he needs to be in jail. But I can see why Eminem just lived up to it, and like people saying that he was doing that shit, so he sort of pushed the boundaries and said something even more disgusting, because it made people react. It's like when I had that catfish who was so not a lesbian, Jesus Christ. She sent a picture of her giving herself a peck, giving a peck to a girl, a little peck on the lips. Blatantly, clearly, anyone with half a brain realises, or already has realised, and it just totally confirms that you're talking to some fucking straight woman, most probably pretending to be a lesbian because she's sad and has too much time in her life, and just she's a really pathetic woman. I think I know exactly who it is. Sad enough to be there trying to entrap me. Then probably took everything I said and made out it was the real me. And probably said to, like, she was trying to make me talk, and I did. I just thought, fuck it. I mean, I'm going to talk violent shit, sexual shit, practice my creative writing here a bit, you know, and really push the boundaries. And that dickhead probably believed that I'm like that, even though that same dickhead, knows I'm nothing like it. So it's funny how the same woman I think who did that crept into my life, pretended to be my best friend, all of a sudden was texting all day, every day. Then was texting a lot less when this catfish was texting. Funny how they never text at the same time. You'd have one of them and then the other one. It was blatantly the same person, and anyone who thinks that I didn't know that is stupid. How could any bisexual woman think that some little slutty looking girl, no offence to the girl in the picture that was used, because she might be innocent in all of this, she might not know that this woman used her picture, but yeah, how the hell would anyone, bisexual, straight or lesbian, think that she's gay when her little piece of evidence for it is that she gave a girl a peck on the cheek? Come on. The girl looked straight and everything. You just know that that's not who you're talking to, because, believe it or not, well, me, I'll speak for myself, I knew that when I was talking to, I have a brain cell, for fuck's sake. So yeah, I pushed the limits until, like, then they were like desperate for me to talk violence, and they wanted to know how bad I'd be to them and all of this. So I just talked absolute lies. Do you know what I mean? And I reckon they've thrown it on the internet, and I reckon that people think I'm some sort of fucking paedophile, and that is sick. Even though the girl was supposedly a couple months away from her 18th, but the reality is I knew I was talking to, I'm 99% sure it's some 56-year-old woman that I know. Like, for fuck's sake. And anyone who knows me knows that I've only ever, like, had interest in older women, if ever a woman. Not fucking younger. I've never had an interest in anyone fucking younger sexually. And another thing, like I said, it wouldn't be that fucked up for someone who was 25 or 6 to, like, go out and date a bloody, someone almost 18. Would it? Let's be honest, that's not that fucked up. Fuck's sake, Cheryl Cole's marriage must be way fucked up if that's true. She met the guy at 14 and married him later on. But the reality is, like, people need a brain cell. It's not that fucked up. Like, I know so many boys who did it and so many girls who willingly slept with older men and wanted to when they were 16. Bloody hell, I know girls who did it when they were 15. Probably some did it at 14. For God's sake, you know what I mean? It's just like, I know I'm a bit drunk and everything, but like, it's ridiculous how the internet is making people go out there, fucking catfish people, pretending to be like underage girls when they're grown men or grown women. What sad acts? Why would you waste your life doing that? Do you know what I mean? For one. But two, like, you just want attention, you want views, or you want to, in like this shit that I've said, I think that person then blackmailed someone in my family, saying they'd release this shit if they didn't do what they said, I think. For God's sake, if that did happen, I wish I'd have said to everyone that I know who cares about me, I don't mind it being released. It's a load of fucking bollocks. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't represent me. Like, I'm sure this fella, who's been apparently, what they call it, fucking exposed. Can't believe these twats, these grown men, are calling this guy a vile junkie nonce who has his Christmas turned upside down. That's what they called their title. They're disgusting people for fucking going to this guy's house. They didn't even see if he'd meet up with a fucking teenager, for one. They had no evidence whatsoever. None. And like the lad says, he was just like, they're ruining his life. How can you ruin someone's life when you got fuck all proof that they're what you're saying? Just a load of bullshit. And I'm gonna add more comments to it as well. See you guys in the next video. I'm just getting so sick of it. And when I say sick of it, I'm not really just talking about this video, but I'm talking about in my life how people have tried to portray me as something else, and really manipulative people who have, like, probably cut out, just told lies about me and harassed me, sabotaged me, and they all think it's fucking that what, they're good for doing it. They're fucking arseholes. Sorry for all the swearing, guys. I need to put a warning. It's just in the title. This isn't for underage people at all, and I am a little bit drunk. But peeps, honestly, yeah, do you know what I'm going to do? From all the harassment and shit they've dealt me in my life, all these different people, I'm going to write a book and sell it, and I can imagine they'll buy it. They'll buy it just to try and laugh and shit. But yeah, it's just, I'm fed up. Fed up with people who don't know the truth about me. Never tried to find out the truth. Never asked my side of the story about absolutely anything. They make jokes and memes. They make loads of memes about me. And it's just like, you haven't even got the balls to ask me what the hell went on. In regards to, I'm talking now in regards to another event. We'll call it the Spider-Man event. You don't know if I was fucking acting the whole role and persona out, because you ain't even asked me. It's like these people are scared if they ask me and find out the whole truth. Probably worried that their illusion, the way they really want me to be a bad person. They don't want their dream of me being evil ruined. They want to be able to keep laughing at me. There's no way they want to find out the truth. They don't want to see that I'm a good person, because it ruins their bloody fantasy, which is a very sick fantasy, to be honest. They're really, really messed up. And if you think they probably think I've lied about certain situations just because they've seen things that have happened after initial violations. They haven't asked me for my story, so I'm gonna fucking give them it. There's so many arseholes that I grew up around, and then you got obviously decent people, but sadly the shit people, just the ones who tend to be the unintelligent ones, with no morals or manners or respect, them lot, they're fucking unreal. They really are the stupid ones. They really don't want to hear my side of any story, because, damn, they just want to believe a load of crap. They want to think I'm some really bad person. They'd hate it if they learned the truth, which is why I'm going to tell them the truth. They need to understand, just because they're thick doesn't mean other people can't act. Doesn't mean other people didn't have a totally different motive for what they did or doing than what they think. But then again, they're probably too stupid to even question that there might be a totally different story behind everything. Anyway, I'm going, people. Subscribe to the channel and add the team on the Twitter at REALEYESBARS. I'm so bloody sick of all the people who've trashed my life. Because one of their lot threatened me with suing for defamation of character. You're not gonna get anything if you try to sue me for that. That's the joke of it. But they have tried to scare me with other things like violence and all that shit, which again doesn't scare me. It's just not really all that great, is it? Not to talk. They really don't want me to talk, especially about them and the bad things that they've done and the bad people that they are. But if they're allowed to slate me and make me into a meme and laugh about me, well, I'm laughing at them. Well, not even laughing, because they ain't got no comedy value. They're just dumb fucks. Whilst I'm insulting them, they're making memes. Why can't I make a meme about them and how they need their story to be true, because they're fucking weirdos? Why not? Anyway, fuck them. And I've drank a bit too much, but seriously, they're a bunch of bastards. See you guys, and this video, not for kids, for God's sake. Oh, and ask any teenager who's ever been around me, for sake, if you, they wouldn't bother, would they, to do that? I bet they wouldn't with this guy, because I bet he's never touched anyone or fucking done anything or spoke like that in real life, like there's this fella on YouTube's getting accused of. I don't think he's done fuck all wrong. In regard to myself, it's kind of a totally different story, and we're talking about someone 2 months off 18, and only they're not 2 months off 18 because they weren't who they said they are, and anyone with a brain cell would realise that I realised that that wasn't who that person said. They would also not be so stupid as to think that I don't have an idea who that was all along. I mean, it was quite obvious who it was. And everyone should be able to fucking tell that I was playing up to it. And fucking, I'll probably do it again. Give fucking fake bullshit stories. Helps me do creative writing. That's about it. Helps me see who's a snaky little stupid shitty twat who's so bored with their fucking life that they've got time to try and destroy mine. And make me think that they're a stupid nasty bitch. And make me realise exactly why they probably never have real love in their lives. and how they'll do anything for money, including just really hurt people. They're really sick people, and you know what? I have to celebrate when they pass away or something, 'cause they're that fucking sick. They deserve some karma. I remember one of my mum's neighbours said when I said she broke her leg, she laughed and said karma and put a circle. It'd be funny if she broke her leg, 'cause then I'd be able to put karma in a fucking gif, wouldn't I? These people are all sick. Honestly, that avenue. Anyway, speak to you guys soon. Sorry for the madness and all of that swearing. It's 'cause I'm really drunk and I've had these stupid tablets off the doctor to try and like relax me and make me sleep, and it's not working. I don't know if their little gang has managed to switch them or what, but it ain't working.